All right, hey fellas, welcome, welcome back. There we go. This is, I believe, the second video of the year, maybe the third. I don't really remember. Post-draft, obviously, video. Had a big successful draft last weekend. Up at the Ripples. Again, thank you, Ian and your family, for hosting us. It was a fun time. Could have done without the visitors. One visitor that we had, we're not going to name any names. I think everyone knows what I'm talking about. We're a guy zone at that time. We'll just leave it at that. I've had some time to think about the draft. We actually had our first trade already. Well, first player trade of the season just last night between Craig and Ian. Basically, Ian should probably just rename his team Wisconsin South, Packers South, Wisconsin South, whatever you want to do. Because, man, he is loading up on Wisconsin players. You got Ty Montgomery and Jamal Williams and Dante Moncrief for Lamar Miller and Deontay Foreman. Pretty fair trade. It's basically really Lamar Miller for Ty Montgomery and Dante Moncrief. Certainly seems to be a pretty even trade. But now, Rip's got Rodgers. He's got Montgomery. He's got Devontae Adams. He's got J.J. Watt. He's got Jamal Williams. He's got a shit ton of Packers. And I guess we'll go ahead and just start with his team since I've kind of ran down a few. Basically his starting running back situations now is looking like McCoy. It's looking like Ty Montgomery. Solid 1-2 punch. I know it's kind of up in the air. How is Montgomery going to do? Obviously, you got OBJ with his first-round pick, number 2 overall. Bought the jersey, gave the whole show. Well, I fucking dog. Fuck OBJ. He fucked me out of a chance to make the playoffs last year. Same with the Falcons D. And, he's got a lot of running backs. So he's got Frank Gore, Eddie Lacy, Matt Forte, Jeremy Hill, and Jamal Williams. No one really very exciting there. He's got starters for sure. He definitely needed to make that move for Moncrief, though, because really he only had OBJ, Devontae Adams, Emmanuel Sanders. John Brown's hurt. Who knows, man? He might not play. Great talent, but he just can't stay out on the field. But you don't love the fact that you've only got 4 receivers. Especially, I'm not sold on Devontae Adams, especially as your number 2. I think Emmanuel will be fine, but obviously he took JJ early, first defensive player off the board, second defensive player off the board. I don't know. I think IDPs aren't really, in the grand scheme of things, going to get you that many points. I think overall for Rip, probably a good solid B minus, probably for old Ripster. Not a playoff team as of right now in my eyes. So moving to playoff team, probably champion. We'll get to that a little bit later at the end of the video. Just for fair warning, this is probably going to be a 20-minute video, but I'm really trying to break down everyone's roster. I didn't do a very good job of that last time. And if you guys just want to skip around, fuck it, do it, skip around. So obviously, I traded up to get David Johnson. Feel like I gave up hardly nothing to get him. Very much a steal. Followed that up running back wise with Woodhead in the 4th, Riddick in the 6th, Duke in the ninth, Fat Rob, and Alvin Kamara late. Alvin Kamara more so a pick for next year than anything. I don't know how good he'll do this year. Watch kind of it looks good, but you can't. I'm not really being instrumental with my hand movements. Pretty lethargic Thursday. And just in case anybody doesn't know, I found out whatever. I got some medical things. It's not a big deal. I had like 17 vials of blood taken yesterday without eating. Got up, made it to the door, passed right out, fell down, hit my chin, busted up my knee a little bit. But hey, your commissioner's here. He's still fighting. I'll be around for a long, long time. So anyway, Danny, obviously I tried to load up on the PPR backs. With Danny, Theo, Duke Johnson, it's probably going to be a frustrating decision to make week in, week out, who to play at that running back 2 spot. But if anyone can do it, I can do it. I know how to make the right decisions. At receiver, obviously, Michael Thomas in the 10th is a great value there. Pairing him with Demaryius Thomas, I love that. I think Demaryius has a bounce-back year. Then picking up Tyrell in the 3rd. I really like his potential this year. I think he's got a top 15 upside. Getting Luck in the 7th. I didn't really want to do it. Just didn't like any of the other talent on the board at that time. He's probably going to miss a game. His center's out for looks like the first 6 weeks. His line is just dog shit, but I love his talent. If he can come back and stay healthy, it's a steal in the 7th round because he's a top 2 guy. I didn't mention Ebron was Rip's tight end. A little questionable there. Obviously, I got Ertz in the 8th. I like that. I've hit the last 2 years with the white tight end. Last year it was Kelsey. 2 years ago it was Olsen. This year it's Ertz. 3 for 3. Don't love my wide receiver depth. Devontae Parker, Corey Coleman, both young guys, both high upside guys, but we'll see. JPP late, Panthers late, whatever. So moving on, I'll give myself B+, probably an A-. Pretty good. pretty pleased with it. Obviously, there's still a lot of work to be done throughout the season. But really, the only thing I'm worried about is my wide receiver depth, for those bye weeks. Kicker lives matter. Moving on to Duncan. I started out with Devontae Freeman. He's got Marshawn Lynch, Thomas Rawls, Jay Ajayi as his running backs. I think he probably does have the best running backs in the league. That being said, he has no depth at all. Thomas Rawls, I don't even count as another running back on his team. So in my mind, he's got 3 running backs on his team. Obviously, Marshawn has potential to be very, very good, but he is getting older. That line is really good still, so who knows? Ajayi and Freeman definitely seem like to be the best 1-2 punch in the league. Only question is the Dolphins line isn't very good, and are they going to stack the box with Jay Cuddy then at quarterback? Would be the only concern there. His receivers are questionable. We all kind of wondered how he was going to fuck up having 2 second-round picks, and he did not disappoint. DeAndre Hopkins and Alshon Jeffrey both taken in the 2nd round. I don't think that was a very good decision, to be honest. Whenever you've got Demaryius Thomas there, and then you even got. I'm looking at the board. I'd take Terrell Pryor if I've got a 2 second-round picks for anything. I'm sure he was hoping Gronk would fall to him. And then, he's got Jordan Matthews as his 3rd wide receiver, Cole Beasley, Will Fuller, Malcolm Mitchell. Cole Beasley's a PPR guy, yet unexciting, no more than a wide receiver 4. Will Fuller's hurt, probably out for half the season at least. Malcolm Mitchell, there's just way too many people on the Patriots to give it to any one guy. You got Jimmy Graham. I like that. Probably a little early. Mariota, definitely too early for that. I think he's solid, but Bobby Wagner, I think, is a stud. I do like the Andy Dalton pick late. That's probably who you should start. I don't think. I think Duncan's back in the shit tier again this year. I'd say probably honestly a C minus for Duncan, and the only thing keeping him in is those two running backs really. Otherwise, he'd be in the D range for sure. Moving on to Craig. Started off Antonio Brown. I think, obviously he's very thrilled with that to get Antonio Brown at 4. Pretty good pick there. He's got Lamar Miller now as his number 1 running back. And that was a good trade for him because going into the season with Ty Montgomery as your number 1 running back would scare the ever-living shit out of me, personally. Obviously, he got Keenan, he got Jules. I do like Ted Ginn and Kenny Golladay late for sure. He's got a very solid core of wide receivers. He could gamble and give away Montgomery to upgrade running back for sure. Moncrief to upgrade running back. But his other running backs are Paul Perkins, Doug Martin, James White, and Dante Foreman. I don't think the Paul Perkins pick is good at all. I think that's a terrible pick to get him in the 7th round. Trash. His running back situation is going to be very dicey those first 3 weeks until Doug Martin comes back, and then he better pray that Doug Martin is a beast once he comes back. Obviously, Tom Brady's great. Jordan Reed, just scares me. A lot of injury risk there with him. I'll give Craig probably a C, just an average grade for him. I don't think he's going to be making the playoffs this year unless he really steps it up during the season. Savoy, our new addition, started out receiver back-to-back with Jordy and Brandon Cooks. I think Jordy at 5 is just extremely too early, to be honest with you. There's other receivers I'd rather have there at 5. There's other running backs I'd rather have there at 5. Brandon Cooks certainly has high upside. I do like the Larry Fitz pick, solid in PPR. The Sterling keep is trash. John Ross, who knows? He is very fast. Same with Taylor Gabriel, very fast. Marvin Lewis doesn't like playing rookies. There's already a lot of receivers there in Cincinnati. His running back situation is not great. Pretty mediocre, if you ask me, and that's probably being pretty kind. Christian McCaffrey is your number 1. Good on you. God bless. Spencer Ware, trash. He won't be starting halfway through the season. He's going to be splitting probably most of the year anyway. Derrick Henry is very, very good talent. He just needs DeMarco to get hurt for the Chiefs to realize that. And Jonathan Stewart is an unsexy pick. Whatever. He'll get some touchdowns, but week to week, no consistency with him. He's got Delaney as his tight end, Russell Wilson, Phillip Rivers as his quarterbacks. I do like Russell Wilson. I think he's going to have a bounce back year. Unimpressed with Savoy's draft, to say the least. I'll give him a C minus. Don't think he's going to be making the playoffs this year. Usually every year those first year guys do good. I don't think we're on that track with him. You will remember the Titans. Our old co-commissioner got himself Todd Gurley late in the first after trading down. He's got Carlos Hyde as his keeper, Tevin Coleman, LeGarrette Blount, Kareem Hunt. Hate the Tevin Coleman pick in whatever round he got that. I can't see. I don't think a 5th round. I don't think that's in the 5th round. It's just trash. LeGarrette Blount certainly has potential. He is a starting running back. I like the things they've been saying about Hyde. I love Todd Gurley. He's my guy, and I do like the Kareem Hunt pick late. T.Y. Stephon, Martavis Bryant, James Crowder, Rashard Matthews, Tyler Lockett, good solid receivers. Kelsey in the fourth, pretty good. Carr late. I'm not sold on Carr as being like a top 10, top 5 quarterback, but I mean, he got him basically for free, so solid. If on yet on appealing draft for your co-commissioner, sorry, I'll probably give him a solid B. I do think he gets back in the playoffs this year for sure. We got JD, our repeat champion. I wanted to keep this at 20 minutes, but it might go a little bit longer. We got DeMarco Murray, Joe Mixon, Adrian Peterson, Terrence West at running back. Hate that. Hate that. These keepers I've noticed, I know I seem very hypercritical of all your teams. I think these keepers really fucked some people this year. It dried up the talent. There's a lot of good keepers this year. It dried up the talent really fast to where you're having to reach for guys late. But yeah, I like DeMarco. I don't like the Mixon pick. I don't like the Adrian Peterson pick in the 7th round at all. I do like Terrence West late. His receivers, he's got Evans, Crabtree, Brandon Marshall, Tyrell Williams, Josh Doctson, Mike Williams. Those are good receivers for sure. I do like his receivers, probably the strength of his team. No, fuck you. He's got Matt Ryan at quarterback and Big Ben late, Jack Doyle at tight end. I don't know, probably like a C+ for JD. Potential to get back in the playoffs. I don't think he will. Certainly don't think he'll repeat for sure. We got Ford here, Zeke, Fournette, Abdullah, D-Mac at running back. I'm running out of juice. Otherwise, I'd really rip into Zeke and his team choices and the way he feels about domestic violence. But we're wearing down here. Hey there, Brody. Here, come here. Come here. Come here. All right, fuck you. All right, fuck, stop. I don't know. He's got Sammy Watkins, Deshaun Jackson, Randall Cobb, Marvin Jones at receiver. Trash. I like Drew Brees and Matthew Stafford at tight end. I like Eifert at quarterback. I like Eifert at tight end. His team, like a D-. D- for Ford. Every other year he misses the playoffs. Every other year he makes the playoffs. He's due for a down year in the shit tier. I like him as a favorite to win the Horse's Ass Trophy this year, for being honest. Should have kept Dak. Hashtag should have kept Dak. Brings us to Blaine. Went wide receiver with his first 3 picks with Dez, Dougie Fresh, Allen Robinson. He's also got Cameron Meredith, Corey Davis, Torrey Smith. I like the potential with his top 3 guys for sure. His running backs are a little dicey. He doesn't really have them. He's got Mark Ingram, Melvin Gordon, C.J. Procise, and Jalen Richard, as he calls them, as well as K1 Alexander. Why don't you learn some names for me? Embrace the culture one time for me, Blaine. I don't know. He's got Famous Jameis at quarterback. I do like the Melvin pick. I think that's the best value for sure, and keeper-wise. I like Mark Ingram as well. But Martellus in the 5th? What the fuck are you thinking, Blaine? Martellus Bennett in the 5th round when you've got Jordan Reed on the... wait. Does he have Jordan Reed? No, he doesn't. But you've got Tyler Eifert on the board. You got Zach Ertz on the board. You got Delaney Walker on the board. You got Kyle Rudolph on the board. You got your boy Hunter Henry on the board. What the fuck is that? Borderline, probably the worst pick in this draft is Martellus Bennett in the 5th round. And hey, I could be wrong. He'd be the number 1 tight end this year. Doubt it. I'm probably going to be right. I give Blaine probably a C-. He's always right there during the season, though. One of the best in-season managers, I think. I don't think he makes it playoffs, though. Brings us to Connor Plunk. Again, another team that went wide receiver early. A.J. Green, Amari Cooper, Golden Tate. He's also got Pierre Garçon, Kenny Britt, Adam Thielen, and Zay Jones. I love his receivers. I love them. I think he's got depth. I think he's got top-end talent. Kirk Cousins at quarterback, very good, very underrated. The thing I worry about is he doesn't really have a lot of pop at running back. He's got Isaiah Crowell late, solid guy, not going to be a top-end guy, not going to win you any leagues for sure. I do like C.J. Anderson. He's certainly got the talent, got the potential. And I like the Gillislee pick if he can get healthy. His hammy's been bugging him all camp. He hasn't been playing. Worries me. I do like the P. Ryan pick late as well. Someone I was eyeing. Kyle Rudolph. Just a guy, unsexy but solid tight end. I'll give Plunk probably a B+ in his draft, and I think he's probably going to be in the playoffs, if not the championship game. Brings us to Wilson, another new addition to the league. Went Julio, Tyreek Hill, Maclin. Way too early for Maclin. Love the Maclin pick, just way too early. That's kind of the theme of Wilson's draft. I love the guys he took for the most part. He just took them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rounds earlier than he should have. That being said, he's also got Mike Wallace, Devin Funchess, and Marquise Wilson solely based on his last name. Probably the 5th receiver for the Jets. Might not even make it through cuts, but whatevs. His running backs, he's got 3 of them. Actually, let me take that back. I don't really love his draft. I like his receivers. He's got Dalvin Cook, Bilal Powell, and Darren Sproles as his running back. That's it. I love Dalvin Cook's talent. Don't hate the line, to be honest. I hate the line. He's got Dak Prescott at quarterback. I like Hunter Henry pairing with Gronk. Wentz late is also very good. He's got the human battering ram and Von Tezel. I got to give him probably, honestly, like a D for his draft. Not very good. Be in the shit tier for sure. Lane brings us last but not least, Hunter Hawkins. He's got Le'Veon Bell, Jordan Howard, Latavius Murray, Gio Bernard. Again, running backs, not very good. Latavius Murray is the backup running back on a team with a bad offensive line. You got Gio Bernard late. I do like that. I like Jordan Howard. I like Le'Veon Bell. But he needs to be looking to get some depth at running back, especially if Le'Veon decides to be a dumbass and continue this holdout into the season, which is, it's looking more and more like a possibility the deeper we go. Jarvis Landry is your number 1 wide receiver, which I love Jarvis. I love Juice. Number 1 wide receiver, not so much. Willie Snead, Kelvin Benjamin, Eric Decker, Anquan Bolden, Allen Hurns, Mohamed Sanu. Just a plethora of receivers. He needs to pair a couple of those shitty receivers he's got down there late. Try to get a better running back for sure, or another running back, or maybe even get a higher tier wide receiver. Greg Olsen finally got old. Greg Olsen, old Greg. Dick hanging down to his knees, Greg Olsen. I do like that. Cam Newton at quarterback. We'll see how he does coming back from injury. I don't know. I'll give him like a C+, C for his draft. I kind of wanted to put him in the playoffs, but I don't think I will. So my 4 playoff teams probably be myself, Nick, Plunk, and gosh. I'm going to go with Craig. I kind of talked shit on his team earlier, but I'll go with Craig to make the playoffs. And I think ultimately in the championship game will be myself and Connor Plunk. He's gotten better every year he's been in the league. He's certainly taking it serious now. I love his tenacity. Love his effort. I think it'll be us 2 squaring off. And obviously I'm going to have to pick myself as a champion. I want that trophy back. I need it. I want it. I need it. I just need football back, period. This will be the last video for another couple weeks. Arkansas football kicking off in 2 weeks. Start of the NFL season is in 3 weeks. We're getting close. We're getting close, and I'm itching and foaming and frothing for some football. So I know all of y'all are as well. Feel free to come down and visit me sometime. It's set up, you can see right behind me here. It's pretty nice. You know, I got a grill out back. Maybe grill up some shit, watch some football, drink some brew, have a good time. But that's all I got. This is by far the longest video I've ever done. Longest video I will ever do, probably until next draft season at least. So yeah, next video is coming out. Probably I might do a preview of week 1 maybe, but definitely after week 1. So anyways, y'all stay safe, and whoop pig.